prominent black brows. Beneath his scrutiny, Ailith felt herself grow warm and begin to melt. "The markets are expensive today, with Yule so close, and the king and court in residence," she told him. "The bargains were few, and Wulfhild has taken it to heart. You know how she loves to haggle." Goldwyn took the purse she held up for his inspection. "I was warned that becoming a married man was expensive," he observed with mock dismay. "Would you rather have remained in your bread-and-water bachelor state and amassed a solitary fortune then?" Ailith challenged, jutting her chin at him and setting her hands to her hips. She had large, regular features moulded upon a sturdy bone structure. A healthy mare was the way her father had described her during the marriage negotiations before his death last year. A good worker, strong and buxom. Ailith knew that her father's words stemmed from his pride at how well she had coped with the burden of household duties in the 8 years since her mother had died. But it had not blunted the pain of the wounds he had so unintentionally inflicted. If she had not loved Goldwyn for anything else, she would have loved him for saying on their wedding night that her statuesque figure and wealth of corn-blonde hair put him not in mind of a mare, but of a wild, fierce Valkyrie. Goldwyn rubbed his jaw and pretended to consider. "Would I rather have remained in my bread-and-water state?" Without warning, he pounced on her and drew her beneath one of the mistletoe kissing bunches. "What do you think?" he breathed. His lips pressed down on hers. She felt the silkiness of his beard, the forge heat still upon his skin, and tasted salty sweat. Running her hands over his naked forearms and across his broad blacksmith's shoulders, she buried her fingers in his hair and returned his kiss with enthusiasm. Against her hip, she felt the clumsy bump of the helmet he was still holding. Wulfhild returned from the stores with a pitcher of ale and a loaf of new bread, which she placed on the trestle near the hearth. Ailith and Goldwyn broke their embrace and looked at each other, making a silent promise for later. Lightly slapping her rump, Goldwyn sat down at the trestle and Ailith ladled out 2 steaming bowls of onion pottage from the cauldron suspended over the hearth. "You're in a fine good humour." She put the soup in front of him and sat down at his side. "Is it because you've finished this?" She lifted the helm off the board and turned it delicately over in her hands. It was a beautiful piece of work, its austere lines tempered by the details of bronze brow ridges and decorated strengthening bands. Goldwyn grunted and spooned pottage into his mouth. "I'll be in a better humour still when the mail shirt to go with it is done. Earl Harold wants it for the new year, and it's not but 2/3 completed yet." Ailith was not deceived by his complaint. Goldwyn's work was going very well indeed. If he had not been extremely pleased with the helm, he would never have brought it from the forge to show her, feigning nonchalance but seeking her approval. Looking at his hands as he broke bread and ate soup, she marvelled anew that their rugged ugliness could create a thing of such simple but intricate beauty. And then she thought of their gentle touch on her body, and a little shiver ran through her. She tried the helmet on. "Do I look like a Valkyrie now?" she asked mischievously, and was amazed at the loudness of her own voice in her ears. Goldwyn chuckled. "Not unless such women are cross-eyed and wear old homespun kirtles." Ailith stuck out her tongue at him and removed the helm. Immediately her focus restored itself to normal. She wondered how men managed to keep a clear vision in battle with a nasal bar between their eyes. She looked at the helm and imagined it gleaming on the leonine head of Harold of Wessex, and again she shivered. "I'm not really complaining," Goldwyn said, as the hot soup and fragrant fresh bread